this is Jim Whitehead from All Power Group. I am starting a new series called I Heard It Through the Grapevine. One of my very good generator customers called me a couple days ago, and because I am moving and sold my one of my generator companies in December, and I'm moving in 2 weeks, I have not been able to do installations and service. Also, with the sale of my company, I'm under a 5-year local 100 miles from where I'm sitting non-compete. Some of the customers that I had, were very good friends, folks that I had serviced for many, many years. When I moved from Davie, Florida, where I'm sitting, to Naples, Florida, I will be back in business because I have to be at least 100 miles from this other company. And bottom line, when the customer called me, she said, "Gee, I didn't think you were still in town." And she had received my number, All Power Group, from Generac because the dealer that just installed a new generator would not help her. So let me kind of go through what she needed to have done and using her as an example, how this can help you ensuring that you get somebody that is doing the full job and doing a good job for you. And again, this is words of wisdom directly from poor service from a local company. What happens is the big thing, and this a lot of people don't know this, and this is why I'm trying to do this. There are two types of Generac dealers. One is a sales dealer. They are allowed to sell Generac generators. But the higher level company in addition to sales, is also a service dealer. So the big point of when you're looking to get a generator installed, make sure you're working with dealers that are both sales and service. Because what happens is if you have just a sales dealer, they can't do warranty. They can't fix your generator. And what does happen during installation of a new generator, all related to transportation, forklifts, I can go on and on and on. There can be problems. And so you need a service dealer that can get parts overnight to make sure that this, even though it's a temporary failure of installation, that you'll get it done. A sales dealer cannot do these things. So they collect your money, but they're not able to give you full service. Also, the other area that is very, very important. Down here in South Florida, you're supposed to get permitting for almost everything you do. I mean, there's very few things you can do without getting permitting. Admittedly, we do sometimes with replacement generators. That means you already have your gas, you already have the slab, you already have your buried wiring. You can go on and on, but basically it's going to be a lot less expensive than someone that has never installed a gym. There's probably on a dollar for dollar, you're probably going to save at least 1/3 of a job that if it was a brand new installation. The time factor is much longer, and of course there are the permit costs, the specific fees from every town and city for, in essence, going through your plan, proving your plan, and making sure it's a good plan. When people start doing things without permitting, they cut corners, and that's a problem in a lot of cases, especially when you're dealing with electricity, and I'm not talking low power, and gas, propane, natural gas, that is safe if done correctly, but can be a big problem if it's done wrong. So remember, replacement generators are less expensive to install than brand new installations. Also, you want to make sure you get 3 estimates from a sales and service company. If you're working with a dealer that they know you're only gonna use their estimate, they know they have no other dealer competition, and unfortunately you will end up paying more than you should. You also want to make sure that the job is, or the dollars you receive for the estimate, is for the whole job. And I'm talking about all the electrical, all the digging, or all the additional equipment. Nothing that all of a sudden somebody's saying, oh, you owe us more money because we didn't give you an estimate for the full job. Before I get to what did happen specifically to this customer, even if you're doing a replacement, you want to make sure, besides the sales and service, you want to make sure you've got licensed contractors, licensed and insured. So in the case of a generator, you're looking at electrical contractor, a gas contractor, and they need to be licensed. They are insured, which is very, very important. And you have to again have it where the whole job is being pulled together. If even if you're not pulling permits, you still have to do, and this is how we install. We do it related to code. Because if in the event somebody comes and looks at that job and you've not done the correct job, it's going to be a problem. Now, in this particular case, they had promised that this was the full job, cost wise, what they quoted them. And when the job was almost done and unknown to the customer, gas contractor shows up and says, I'm here to install the gas. And oh, by the way, it's another $2,000. So what do? Customer said to the company, you said this did include everything. Oh, we forgot. Well, that should have been their problem, not the customer's problem. So she's sitting here with somebody standing there that can finish the installation and is saying, with his hand out, I need another $2,000. That's extremely unfair. Now, another thing that happened is monitoring these generators. We sometimes use cellular monitors, but what is kind of nice as part of the total price from Generac, they include a built right into the generator, connected to the controller, a Wi-Fi monitor. You'll see the antenna on the side of the generator, and it's for Generac's mobile link service. And what it's basically there to have it where the customer can connect and receive information as to what's going on with the generator. Did it exercise? Does it have a problem? It's kind of the only way, the best way to ensure that you have the generator when you need the generator. Now, the dealer in question here said to the customer, we don't install or help you hook up this Wi-Fi monitor. Their statement was, quote, we cannot touch that. Now, you kind of say logically, if you cannot touch this monitor that came with the generator built in, you should not be touching the generator in the first place. These monitors, sometimes, and the poor customer was out in the middle of the backyard with Generac trying to help her. But a dealer like myself is we've got our phone and we ask, of course, what is the name of your Wi-Fi, your SSID, and I can tell from looking at my phone, is there enough Wi-Fi from their system so that we can basically have it where the monitor is and the generator is on their Wi-Fi system. In a lot of cases, you have to install, and this again, it's not an expensive process. It's just you've got to do it for the customer because they're your customer and you got to finish the job. A lot of times we have to get, and they're not expensive, like $20. We have to put in a Wi-Fi extender. Now the Wi-Fi extender goes either right in their home to the closest outlet to the generator, or it can even, in some cases, they're waterproof, it can be plugged into an outside out. And what it does is it's kind of a go-between their Wi-Fi in their home and the Wi-Fi for the generator. And in most cases, we do have to install that. But it isn't hard, and it's just the right way to do it. This dealer just said, no, we're not doing it. That's just tough, which I'm still scratching my head about. When they called Generac, the customer called Generac and said, look, I'm having trouble getting this Wi-Fi hooked up. The first question that Generac asked was, what about the dealer that installed the generator? The customer had to say, they said they wouldn't help. They can't help. So here's where the bottom line is. If you have a dealer like this, and you kind of interview them and make sure they have all the things I'm telling you, service dealer, sales dealer, they will do the Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, if this happens like a situation like this, you've chosen the wrong dealer and it's not your fault. And in essence, with this particular dealer, they didn't give you full service and you paid too much. So, yes, I'm a little upset about this because this was a good customer for many years. And, my moving was not any issue where I was abandoning any customers. In fact, I held out almost a year with selling my company to hopefully finding a company that it was skilled, had the infrastructure to do a good job. And unfortunately, and I feel very bad about this, I made a big mistake. But anyway, thank you. This is allowing me to get this issue off my chest, but also sharing some information that hopefully will help you with your own job. You can always leave comments, you can always ask questions. I love to teach, and I feel like although I haven't been, the best the whole 18 years, I've done my best and I've been honest. I have a hard time with dishonesty. I was brought up to be honest, and I see no reason why you should be dishonest to any customer, and you do what you say you're doing and complete the job. So please be well. And again, please, any questions, any comments?